Okay. Unrealistic expectation in social standard can be challenging concept, which people rely on social media to get acknowledged from it. So the more you see social media, the more you will get unrealistic expectations, which is sometimes in a social standards. It's not really, that is nothing, that's not something that have accurate that we can measure in a social standard, which is sometimes social standard could be realistic and could be not. So even a social media cannot be one of medium to measure all these social standards. So social standards is like commonly how we live our life. Okay, let's move to the factors that can contribute to the unrealistic expectation in social standards. So the three main points that I can describe here, which is firstly the factors that can contribute to these social standards and unrealistic expectations in social standard is unlimited consumptions of social media. So secondly is idols, expectations and comparisons, and the last one is obsessed with perceptions. Okay, firstly, unlimited consumptions of social media. So what I can say about this is the more that you consumptions of social media, so the more you will see people around you, which is beauty standards, judgment, and also the show of things. There you can see a lot of people with kinds of lingerie, high class of house, with big car in a social media. So these kinds of consumptions can contribute to the realistic expectation. What you see in social media, as I said before, is not realistic sometimes, and sometimes could be realistic. So for the second factors is ideals, expectations and comparisons, which is when you do a comparisons between your life in others, that can contribute to these kinds of unrealistic expectations in the social standards, which is you can when you see a lot of people out there using expensive stuff, so you will compare that with your life, so it's not good for you. So that could be lead to the unrealistic expectations as well. So for the last one is when you obsess with your perceptions, which is when you so obsessed with the perfections, which is you want to be perfect. So these kinds of perfections is not good actually, which is you could lead to these kinds of unrealistic expectations. What you see is not really what you see. That what can I say for the factors. Okay, let's continue with effects of unrealistic expectation in a social standards. Okay, three main point also, which is first effect is identity issue in society, obviously, and a second one is a cycle of unrealistic socials, and last one is changings of lifestyles. Okay, effects. What can I say about the identity issue in a social media, which is identity is our very basic of very traits and experience, which is if we try to change our identity, that could not be unreal one. So these kinds of social standard, if you caching your social standards, so your identity issue could be affected by this. So when these kinds of effect can affect our society as well, because we don't have our real identity as much as we have. So the second one is cycles of unrealistic socials, which is if too many unrealistic things happen in the social media, so the cycles of unrealistic social could happen, which is all the ideal, all the realistic things could not be happen because of these cycles happen in our social. So these kinds of effect also can change our lifestyle, because we always cashing for social standard, so our lifestyle could be changing, because as we know that, if we change, we want to change our lifestyle, because to get what we want and to get acknowledged in a social standards. Okay, let's move to recommendations before we go to the conclusions. So there's a few of recommendations that I can suggest to use to reduce these kinds of unrealistic expectations in a social standard. So firstly, we have to do is reduce the consumptions of social media, obviously, because too many, as I said before, is too many social media, you will get see a lot of pupils that makes their life more better than yours. So it's better you reduce all the social media. And the second one is minimizing the in following up the expectations in a media perfections, which is when you see the advertisement at TV, social media, there's always advertise a perfect one. So by you minimizing all these kinds of media perceptions, so the social standards from yourself could be good. So the last one is everyone have their own flaws, so try to embrace it, because we are human, so we got our own flaws that not everybody, what I can say is human is unique. So just embrace it and try to get focusing on your life. Don't things about others, will things about you, just yourself, and identify what is your own social standards that can make yourself more variables than others. And don't look for a perfections, just look what you have in your life and grateful for it. Okay, let's go to the conclusion. So what can I say about the social standard is just not a good things happen nowadays, because if you have a social standards, there's a big gaps between you and others, which is this, we cannot continue our life with harmony and also peace, which is you will disrespect others people what you have in your life, which is social, as I said before, there is a gap. So you don't you will compare your life with others, you will change your lifestyle because these kinds of social standards. So just stay alive with what you have in your life, and just do what you can, and don't even care about the social standards. It's not reality, and it's just unrealistic expectations from you and others. Just live in a reality life. That is from me. Thank you so much.